You're doing what a lot of people do not do. Full stop. You get excited about something and express that excitement. Do not say sorry after doing so. Do not say sorry after squealing, jumping up and down, doing whatever. You got excited, and so you should be excited about a thing. It doesn't matter how big or small someone else thinks it is. Express that. Well, your coworkers are people. Like, you're not going to like everyone. They're not going to like you, and that is okay. And you need to know that that's okay. Like, it's all right. It's okay. Like, it was hella devastating when people were not vibing with you because you're like, what are you doing? I'm trying to get everybody on the... It's okay. Some people just don't like you, and that's all right. Also, don't focus on the people who don't like you, because there's a lot of people who do like you, and you spend all your time trying to contort and mold yourself to people who have made it clear that they ain't vibing with your energy. And all the people who are vibing with your energy, you know, like, lean into those folks, which you do a good job of, but keep doing that. Don't be afraid to be polarizing, because people are not going to like you anyway, or they're going to like you anyway. And wouldn't you rather folks like you because you were able to say something that you truly felt, instead of contorting yourself to meet the room when you really didn't agree? And to be fair, like, you definitely spoke up in a lot of places, both seen and unseen, in your career. However, there were other times where you probably could have, but didn't want to rock the boat. And I'm gonna tell you, girl, rock it. Rock it. Using work validation as a distraction from the validation that you should seek within yourself. Recognition that you get from your team is 1,000 million times more valuable than any promotion you've ever gotten. And unfortunately, at different times in our career, we have struggled to see that because of society and what society tells us about the importance of different benchmarks in our career. However, when you think about those times when we've been recognized for our work, has it been the promotions? No. It's always been something that a team member has done to recognize you, me, us. So remember that as you go through this next chapter. Emotions and crying because somebody was treating you poorly at work did not mean that you were a weak leader. And it also did not mean that you were a weak person. People were unkind to you, and you reacted like somebody does when somebody is unkind to a person. It doesn't mean that you are not strong. It does not mean that you're not capable. It just means that you're a human being who had somebody say something that was really unkind to you, or have been treated poorly, and you reacted like somebody who would react. And that's normal, and that's okay. The best moments that you will have in your professional career will have actually nothing to do with your job. They will have nothing to do with your job. And if I were to look back and say this to myself, like just graduating grad school, I would think that that was the wildest thing I could say at this point. But it's the truth. Some of my favorite moments, actually most of my favorite moments in my career, have had zero to do with anything procedural that I have done in my role, and it has everything to do with the different milestones and achievements I've made, the milestones and achievements I've seen my team members make, the ways in which I've been held accountable and then watch myself grow in the process, the intangibles that aren't on the job description. And so definitely in this next chapter, like, we got to relish those moments. Girl, the reason why you constantly are doing karaoke all of the time, and have been doing karaoke all of the time for 10 years, is because your body and your spirit has been screaming for a creative outlet, and the only place where you felt like that was acceptable, given the confines that you have been placed in and put yourself in, was at karaoke bars. But let me remind you that it is not normal to sometimes go to karaoke 3 or 4 times a week to sing if you have a creative outlet. So now that you're actually a regular at 8 to 10 places in this city, I've drug every coworker you can imagine to karaoke. Should have been a surefire sign that there were some creative outlets that needed to happen, and I'm glad that we found our way to it. If you are just new here or have been here since the beginning, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so grateful for this community and everything we've been able to do together. I remember earlier this year saying, you know, gosh, I'm so excited. I have 300 community members. Like, they're celebrating and looking at my stuff, and it's so cool to see that there's people in there. And at other times I'd be like, oh, you know, I wish more folks could see I'm trying to help and heal and all these things. And then, my gosh, and we're just continuing to grow. I just celebrated 50K on Instagram. And these are real people. Like, these are real people who have resonated with my work. Some folks who are fans that are mean. That's something new that I've gotten like to assess is there's a lot of folks who follow me, but then will say like really mean things on comments, and that's really confusing. I don't know if any other creators have experienced that. I'm like, so you're a fan then? Like, what are we doing here? But otherwise, it's just been such a cool experience, and I'm really deeply grateful. I am actually sitting in what will one day be my creator studio that I have now like started to work on some new content and new things for the community to just amp up what's possible. And y'all haven't even seen like 2%. And people who know me personally, like know me real well personally, like they know I should have some folks on here who are like, buckle up. If you are somebody who has felt discouraged during your career process, or maybe in the process of trying to find your passions, I will say that the one thing I am very grateful about that I have done my entire career is fight for those passions, even if they were in small doses, like a karaoke bar or a show here or there, or making a video for friends, or doing my videography, which I've been a videographer for a very long time. Fighting for that has been critical, and I am grateful for that as an avenue, because I think about so many people who feel like that's not accessible to them for whatever reason. And like, please let me remind you that it is, and they're honestly life-saving when you are navigating with a lot of what we've got going on right now. I look forward to the opportunity to just showcase kind of the more dynamic aspects of who I am, because I think a lot of creators fall into the trap of like being on when they're creating. I know for me, like I have felt like I've had to be like, you know, and even though it's authentic, it's me, it's definitely not all of me. It's like this like persona that I feel like I've had to adopt because, you know, I want to empower y'all and I want to really make sure that these messages are hitting home. However, I'm really excited for you to get to connect with the creator that you have invested in. I consider your likes, your engagement, your comments, your freaking follows, your financial investments, to those who have taken my classes, who have contributed, my community investors, to my Amazon wish list, to those who have backed me since I started this journey less than 4 months ago. It's wild. I'm looking forward for the aspects of Beverly that corporate tried to clock to come out, because there's a lot in there. There's a lot in there that wants to just make themselves known. So looking forward to it. Thank you for 100K on the way. And